A century-old Warren County murder still perplexes and fascinates.
It certainly does. There is now a book about the strange murder of John Hossack. Channel 5 Eyewitness News reporter Jay Villwock has more. Tonight's Villwocking is indeed a Ville mystery.
On a quiet and grassy hillside in the New Virginia Cemetery lies the grave of John Hossack, a prosperous Warren County farmer who in 1900 was killed, murdered, hit in the head twice with a blunt instrument. It could have been an axe. And that is where this story begins, a story of family, of murder, and of mystery. The Hossack family poses in this undated photo, typical of the time. Nothing was typical the night of December 1st, 1900. A sleeping John Hossack is savagely attacked
by 2 blows to his head with a weapon like an axe.
Brutal murder.
Very brutal murder, very violent death.
His wife, Margaret, was lying at his side.
She was awakened not by the feel of an axe or by a sound of her husband, but by the sound of the door closing as the attacker escaped or left the room.
No forced entry, nothing taken. Suspicion soon turns to Margaret Hossack. Neighbors call her a desperate housewife who tells of a husband prone to rages, threats, a brooding, unstable man. Margaret has told them all.
She had gone to her neighbors, often in desperate straits, asking for help.
Prosecutors seize on a motive. Old yellowed transcripts still remain from the first Warren County trial, folded in the pages the first jury's finding of guilt.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Margaret Hossack, guilty of murder in the first degree, as charged in the indictment, and we say that she shall be punished by imprisonment for life at hard labor in the penitentiary. Signed by the jury foreman.
Hossack maintains her innocence.
And that family stayed close to her both physically and emotionally throughout the entire ordeal and always supported her.
A second trial, this time in Madison County, ends in a hung jury. Patricia Bryan, a law professor, and her husband, writer Thomas Wolfe, pored over news accounts and court transcripts. The result, a book called Midnight Assassin.
And you never really established whether she was guilty or not in your own mind?
I was never convinced either way. The evidence really is inconclusive and it remains a mystery.
But part of the fascination and the enduring mystery of the story is that we will never know.
After her second trial in the hung jury, prosecutors refused to try her a third time, so she was freed, walked out of prison, lived the rest of her life in a boarding house in Indianola, always proclaiming her innocence. She was a loving grandmother, a faithful churchgoer. Now, there have been theories throughout the years that maybe she held the lantern as one of her older sons actually killed her husband. Nobody knows for sure. Margaret Hossack was buried next to her husband in 1916. And with that, any chance of knowing the truth was buried with her.
Thank you, Jay.